During the automated training stage, ABBYY FlexiCapture selectively places process documents into training batches associated with their originating vendors. Typically, documents from the same vendor will have similar layouts, which means that you can benefit from the use of an automatically generated trained adjunctive flexi layout. If documents originating from the same vendor have widely varying layouts, you should use the clustering feature. Let's take a look at where that setting switch is found. Here we're in a FlexiCapture for Invoices project, and we can go to the project document definition, and then we'll go to the document definition properties, and then we'll go to additional fields and features, and if we scroll down, we will see enable clustering, which is a default setting. And let's just read this. Enable clustering to automatically cluster documents with shared features and train a separate flexi layout for each cluster. So with this feature turned on, FlexiCapture automatically analyzes documents and puts them into groups termed clusters based on features that they have in common. And as stated, a separate flexi layout will be created for each cluster. Note here that a new custom field was added to the document definition called Cost Center. To extract the field's data, we can either manually create an additional flexi layout or train the documents. We are focusing on the latter approach. Let's recognize images from the same vendor with varying layouts. We'll step out of the document definition. We didn't make any changes, so we don't have to save or publish. And we've got a working batch right here. We'll go ahead and recognize the images in this batch. We'll open the batch and provide cost center data. And 3 more to go. And the final document. To save some time, we'll select all documents and send them to training manually. And training is complete. Now let's switch over to the newly created field extraction training batch. If the clustering feature is turned on and you receive documents with widely varying layouts from the same vendor, documents from this vendor will be clustered inside this training batch used for this vendor. A separate adjunctive flexi layout will be trained for each cluster. Training will be initiated once a cluster contains at least one document. Please note that clustering is a fully automatic process, and the actual clusters remain invisible to the user. But you can still see that clustering works in the document properties. So let's open up the training batch, and we'll click on Properties, and we see here that we've got a cluster ID of 0, meaning that was the cluster that the document was trained on. If we go to the next document, click on Properties, cluster ID 0, let's go to the next one. This is cluster ID 1, so we've got 2 clusters because we had 2 variations in the documents. It's easy to appreciate the automated manner in which this powerful feature works.